y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. It's like a fucking foghorn. Every time I start talking, here you are. Anyway, we're gonna do a reading, a inner child reading, healing reading. I think those are blueberries. We don't have any blueberries right now. Can I show the people quick? Wait, no, let me show. Niall has the grocery store app, and he's turning the kitchen into at least a produce section. But today he had an addition of garlic, eggplant, and pineapple. So he's got it like all laid out like the grocery store. There's a bug in here that's like circling. So you might have people around you watching you or spying on you. Flies represent monitoring spirits. Also, I am watching the movie Just Friends. I don't really feel like turning it down, so you're just gonna have to be ADHD with me. This movie helps heal my inner child. So, I have a couple decks here, and we're gonna get some cards starting with the Wild Child deck. Pull out some themes that we maybe focus. I'm gonna have to turn it down. I love this movie. It's so funny. My favorite part is that conversation when they first get to New Jersey about the salmon. I slapped the ham to it like, what ham did you slap? Do you have anything besides ham? I am on an all salmon diet. I love salmon. It's the most beautiful color for bedroom. The mother in this movie is the woman from Airplane. If you've never seen that movie, highly recommend. So themes that are coming through already: don't take shit too seriously, laugh, allow yourself to find joy in stupid shit. Alright. We have opportunity, we have idleness, ephemeral, I'm gonna have to look these up, and crossroads. I feel dumb. I do know what opportunities are. You may be experiencing some sort of desire or necessity to take a leap of faith. Oh, but then followed by idleness. Maybe you're feeling lazy. So we have, what is this, like a mountain ram? The ram represents Aries in the zodiac. That could mean something to you. And then we have a turtle, or a tortoise, I should say. It took me a long time to figure out that turtles were not... People used turtle as like an interchangeable when I was growing up. It took me a long time to figure out that turtles live in water. Like literally, I think I was in my 20s. Alright. Ephemeral, I don't know, lasting for a very short time. So maybe you're just in a rest period right now where you're kind of pulling back from shit. Maybe there's too many opportunities, or maybe you don't like the opportunities being presented, so you're just kind of letting them pass you by. Or maybe you're in a space of feeling lazy, feeling sorry for yourself, in a space of healing. I don't mean it in a bad way. I might have sounded condescending. I didn't mean it like that. I think as humans, we all have those seasons where we do feel sorry for ourselves. Anytime something challenging happens, or especially if it's like challenge after challenge after challenge, it's just like, oh my god, you know? But perhaps this was like a major theme in your childhood. Or maybe your family had challenges that you of course, were having to deal with. And unfortunately, we're seeing that again right now in this time, with the way the government is treating poor folks. It's a muffin. Or maybe a cupcake. I think they're muffins, though. I don't think it has frosting on it. That's a cake. Love you, bye. Crossroads. So you could be at a crossroads right now. I mean, it's what it's giving. Don't allow yourself to... A couple of things. Don't allow yourself to get in your own way because of some short-term, what is that word? Satisfaction, but that's not the word. a lot of self-sabotaging behavior can come from like a short-term opportunity or something, taking that versus like sticking to a 5, 10, 20-year plan. Right? I'm a list person. I have a few plans. But 5 years ago, well, 10 years ago, this plan wasn't really, because I wasn't a mother yet. I didn't know where it'd go. But either way, don't allow like some sort of opportunity. Candles. That's fire, yes. It's on the birthday cake. Don't allow something short term to take away from something greater, like a greater opportunity. And again, don't let your own laziness get in the way either. Make sure you're putting in some work towards your goals, whatever that looks like. I'm not saying you have to become a know-it-all in anything, but putting a little bit of time towards your goals every day, can lessen your anxiety. Allow the changes that need to make to happen. That is lemonade on top of a cookie on top of a pie. Mommy just made pie. I'm gonna be eating the fuck out of that pie later. It's pie season. I only like the Dutch apple pie. Not a big pie girl. And I've been like all Halloween season I was eating dirt dessert. I'm like a kindergartner when it comes to food. Anyway, speaking of, that might be something that you need to do as well. If you're feeling called or get a craving for something that you used to eat when you were younger, certain poverty meals or certain things, allow yourself to do that. I think that reawakening our taste buds can really, really inform our healing process, especially if we have made great strides since that time that we were in struggle, right? We have anger and love. Anger is a very, very valuable emotion, and we have sorrow. Anger is the acknowledgement that you deserve better, and it makes you mad. Whether it's someone crossing your boundaries, whether it's a certain circumstance, whether it's what happened to you when you were younger. The only thing about anger is that if we take it out, like our behavior, if we exert our anger onto others, that's when there can be problems. But otherwise, anger is a totally important. It's okay to be angry. In fact, it's quite necessary for healing processes, especially when we are thinking about little ones, right? Because when we were children, we weren't allowed to be angry. We weren't allowed to question the adults around us. We weren't, for the most part. I think most of us had that pretty universal experience. We had to just accept shit the way it was, right? And that can lead to fucking sorrow, right? Anger, what's that saying about grief, how it's love that just doesn't have anywhere to go or something? I think anger and sorrow very much go hand in hand, I think it's a reciprocal relationship. Sorrow can feed into anger, and anger can feed into sorrow, right? Like, I'm pissed that happened, but I'm also like so distraught about it, right? Either way, if those things are coming up for you, allow yourself to feel through it. Allow yourself to feel those feelings, right? We don't have to, when we go through childhood healing, we don't have to relive everything that happened to us, but we are going to be revisiting emotions that came up when we were experiencing whatever it was we were experiencing. And as adults, we kind of use this visual. What was that movie? What was that movie? What was that movie? I don't know what movie it was, but there was a scene where this woman went back into, it's gonna bug me. I think I watched that on Netflix. She witnessed something about the adults in her life, and she was a little kid and like hiding in a closet. And as an adult, one scene in the movie was her going back and sitting with the young child, right? So sitting with herself as an adult and holding that space for her. As a parent, if you are a parent and you're doing some healing inner child work, or you're, breaking generational curses, or you're raising your children differently, and you're like, I remember being young, There were things that I experienced that I was like, I will never do this to my kids, right? Same, right? I think when we allow ourselves to kind of reparent ourselves or our own children, you know, I for one am a cycle breaker in my family, and I've had to let everyone go. I had to go no contact. I actually, my aunt lives in Evanston, and I've been seeing a lot of. We used to spend our Thanksgivings in Evanston growing up, and I just have so much nostalgia of that place, of northern Chicago area. And I'm seeing so much ice footage coming out of Evanston. So I tried calling my aunt. We aren't really on terms at all. Like, we lost communication a few years ago, but I don't think it was necessarily like a bad thing, right? Like, there wasn't a conversation about like I hate you or anything like that. It was just, you know, we fell out of touch. But I tried calling her the other day, and I kind of broke my own heart because I don't know. I think her and my mother have been talking or something, because I was like, hey, I still had her number saved in my phone, and I was like, hey, this is Ashley. And then I hear like click, click. Like, she didn't hang up, but then I heard like buttons, and I was like, hello, hello. And no response. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess this bridge has been burned. But either way, maybe that's also, it did bring a lot of sorrow, but I think it had mostly to do with, ooh, there's that monitoring spirit again. That inner child healing, right? As an adult, no one has taken me seriously as an adult. I've always been treated as a child in my family. And it was, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have reached out. You know, but it's really heartbreaking to see that ice footage. Evanston has always felt like such a safe place for me, and so I was just calling to process it with her, but that's okay. So anyway, we have Hope and Love coming out. Maybe you're navigating something similar in regards to relationships in your family line. That's an orange. We don't have oranges. Orange and lemon and apple. That would be a yummy juice together. We don't have oranges. They're all out at the grocery store. It's a long story, but I'm gonna try and get us some citrus trees this next year. We'll see. I was looking at them on eBay. I've always wanted a lemon tree. I don't even really eat lemons, but I think it's a flex. Hope and love. Whatever things bring you hope, whatever love you have, whether it's for a thing, a collection, you know, a band, Blink-182 for me, food, whatever it is that you love, really focus on that love, okay? That's going to be feeding that love for yourself as well. I want to get a couple shadow aspects here, as long as that kid is going to let me. And let's pull these out and just see what we may be dealing with. I think that anger and sorrow can really feed our shadow aspects, as well as the things we're experiencing. Maybe when you were a child too, with this crossroads and opportunities, maybe your family got in the way of that, or friends, or, you know, religious beliefs or something, and maybe you're still reeling from that even as an adult. You're like, oh God, I really wish I would have had this opportunity or taken this path, but it was blocked, right? Well, as an adult, you can do that, right? You're never too old to learn something new. You're never too old to experience fear, ego, trauma, and isolation. Yeah, that's how I deal with everything. Fear. Face your darkness. It is the only way to find the guiding light. These are really dark cards. Like, visually dark, not like horror dark. Ego. Beyond the facade of your ego lies the depth of your true character. I don't know why I'm showing these. You can't see them. Our ego is somewhat of a protectant from letting others get too close, fucking with our energy, but it can also be detrimental to your own well-being. Finding balance within your own ego is incredibly important. A lot of people use their ego as a I'm getting chainmail from like nightlife, not like bar life, like nightlife. KNIGHT. That was rude. Hi. I like the warm light, not the cool light. Trauma is next. So, whatever trauma you experienced as a kid. This photo, I was just thinking about this photo the other day. It's always giving me that 13 Ghosts movie where they're like locked in the house and the Jekyll. It gives the Jekyll. I don't know. Your scars are proof of your resilience and survival. And then we have isolation. In solitude, discover your true self and connect deeper. So, taking some time away, that came out in the other collective reading I just uploaded about changes. I think isolation is a great way to find yourself. I know that I don't really like to be around people at all because I've gotten to a place where I'm comfortable where I am. I'm comfortable in my own energy, and if other people are coming in my energy and it's causing an imbalance for me, I can't do that anymore at my ripe age of 38. I'm not going to compromise my well-being for the sake of anyone else at this point in time. And I think that can be something that feels or sounds like it's selfish, but I think in this kind of world and society in which we live, I think it's a really big strength to be able to know your own limits, to be able to recognize your own energy signature and the way that others make you feel. I think that comes with healing. I think that's the whole point of healing, is to allow ourselves to be okay in our own energy, even though the systems outside of us are going to say that that's selfish or cruel for others. There's a very fine line between doing things, you don't need to be selfish, but you do need to be compassionate to yourself. And sometimes if you know something isn't good for you, it's better to just not entertain it, right? It's better to just keep yourself safe from it. And I think if you have a relationship with whatever it is you believe in, and you can really focus on that, but really healing that inner child, it's acknowledging the pain that you've been through. It's acknowledging the pain that your family has put you through, the things that weren't fair to you. I was really shocked with the situation with my aunt. We always had a pretty solid relationship, and I was like, I've been running my mouth a little bit about her on the internet. I don't think that that's something that she's probably seen, but I think my mother is she's like a gold medalist gossiper, and is many times I've asked that woman to keep my name out of her mouth. She absolutely cannot. So my guess is, but it felt really unsafe calling my aunt when she was doing that. I was definitely not expecting that. And it's a damn shame, but perhaps you have also either are experiencing or have experienced relationships with your family. I am the black sheep. I know that. But it sucks because a lot of the times when you leave people where they are, they stay there, and they don't have any intention of growing to meet you where you are. And I guess it was Mercury retrograde energy, but it was also that nostalgia. So be careful navigating nostalgia and the way that it makes you feel. Okay, let me pull a couple of these. I would like to put the light back on, but I guess we'll just leave it. Oh my god, it's only 10:12. I've been up for 4.5 hours. Now I woke up so fucking early. I gotta keep them up later at night. I like having morning to myself versus evening. I mean, it's whatever. Be you bravely. Good things are going to happen. Give out what you most want to come back, and be fearless. So again, really focusing on that hope and love. Creativity takes courage, and hold on tight to your dreams. I hope this helps. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself as an adult to again, take your younger self by the hand. Allow yourself to guide your younger self through the things that you experienced that caused the trauma, that made you feel fear, that made you feel like you had to isolate, that made you feel anger and sorrow. Allow yourself at this point in your life to, obviously not literally, but, you know, close your eyes. It could be like a meditation exercise. Like if you close your eyes and just be like, I remember, you don't have to relive the moment, but the feeling that was associated with that moment that you experienced will more than likely come through your nervous system. So your heart could feel, it could put you into a space of fight or flight. It depends on what you've experienced. It could make you feel, you know, adrenaline. It could make you feel unsafe. But remember, it's just an exercise. And when you can really talk yourself through revisiting those moments and supporting yourself through those moments, it's a very, 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 that's a huge strength. That's not an easy thing to do. It really is mind over matter, right? So finding that balance between your mental, your emotional, and your physical body. I'm gonna let you go. Have a good one.